Hello, welcome back. This is day 2 of the Andrew Mullins Miami Dolphins talk show. Yesterday I went over the offensive roster, and let me turn that off. And today I'm thinking about the defense and other things that I feel like discussing. Actually, let me start over. I didn't really introduce myself yesterday. That was my first show. It was a little farther away. You might not be able to hear me very well. I don't like to do things over again, so I'm just going to go with it. Go with defense today, and just speak up so you can hear me better, and we'll go from there. First, my name is Andrew Mullins. I'm coming to you live from beautiful Prescott, Arizona. As you see, I got the Tannehill jersey here. I got the old school helmet on top of the globe, which is where I would like the Dolphins to be one day. It's my grandfather's American flag back there. It only has 48 stars. I'm pretty proud of it. It's pretty cool. And yeah, so let me recap yesterday in case there were some things you missed or some things you didn't really understand. For pretty much the fine points were Ryan Tannehill, best quarterback we've had since Dan Marino. Got to keep him. Got to support him. I don't care how you pay him. Just make sure he stays a Dolphin. Give him 3, 4, 5 more years to see what he can do and see how he's getting better and better and better. He has since his rookie year. You got to think that the long ball, the clutch, all the things that you need from a quarterback are going to happen. You got to hope they're going to happen. It looks like they're going to happen, and let's just see what his ceiling is because we haven't seen the ceiling yet. The ceiling has yet to be seen. Lamar Miller and Noshawn Marino. I think we should bring Noshawn back if he's going to play like he did in Week 1 against the Patriots last year. That would be great. If not, let's keep Lamar Miller. I mean, there's a heck of a draft class going on at running back, or not a draft class, but a free agent class. We got Murray, we got the Forsett. Who else? Frank Gore. I wouldn't mind having any of those guys. And you got to think that one of them, if not 2 or 3 of them, are going to be available. So if we need to drop Noshawn Marino to get a good free agent, fine. Lamar Miller seems to be getting better and better every year. If we can have Brandon Albert Pouncey at center, I believe Pouncey should be a center, and then Juwan James at the other tackle, then I think the offensive line is going to be really good. Lamar Miller has a chance to keep getting better and better. And let me correct myself yesterday. I mentioned that Samson Sattelli should be a tackle. I believe that he should be a guard. Let Pouncey be the center, the Pro Bowl center that he is. Obviously runs in the family. He's been doing good with it. He should continue to be a center. And if I think Samson Sattelli could be a good guard, and if College or Fox or Garner or Brenner or Smith or Turner or Dallas Thomas, I think Sattelli is at least as good as all of them. He's a veteran. He's from Hawaii. They seem to be really good at blocking people. And I also mentioned yesterday about Brandon Gibson and Brian Hartline. If we have to, I hate to say it, but I love Hartline, but I hate to say it, we owe him almost $6 million next year. If we drop Gibson and Hartline, we can maybe afford a Ndamukong Suh in the free agency, or DeMarco Murray or Gore or Forsett, or who knows? Maybe Brandon Marshall comes available again. Maybe he wants to come back. Something like that. But $5 million to Brian Hartline seems like a lot. And he didn't have a great year last year. Just plain and simple. I'm just calling it like it is. And I love Charles Clay, like Deion Sims. Let's keep them going. We get a healthy Brandon Albert, Pouncey, and Juwan James for an entire year. We have the makings with Clay, Wallace, Jarvis Landry, Lamar Miller, Ryan Tannehill for a hell of an offense. That's it. So that pretty much sums up what I said yesterday, in case you couldn't hear me. Again, this is day 2 of the Andrew Mullins Miami Dolphins talk show, coming to you from Prescott, Arizona. I'm going to discuss defense now. This is going to be interesting. All right, so let's start. long list, actually. Okay. Why don't we just start with the good old defensive line? Alright. Why not start with Dion Jordan? Oh my gosh. Well, as you all know, he's from Oregon. He's a backup. And, well, just pretty much put up or shut up at this point. All I've heard is how great he is and how awesome he can be. I haven't seen him make one dynamic play yet. Okay, just get him out there, let him play, see what he can do. If he can't, let's just forget about him. Okay, I'm tired of hearing about him. Okay, we traded up to draft him a couple of years ago, and he's done pretty much nothing. He looks like he'd be a better tight end than a defensive end. Yeah, I would rather talk about the defensive ends that have actually done something, like Terrence Fede. I actually really like Terrence Fede. He made a couple good plays last year. He was, I think, undrafted. So, I mean, we really did a good job there picking up some good talent. And speaking of excellent undrafted talent that we got, Chris McCain. My gosh, I love this guy. His very first play as a Dolphin, he comes in there and he blocks the punt against the Patriots week 1. And then why we don't play him more often after that, I have no idea. But I really, his first play, he blocks a punt that ends up in a safety or a touchdown for us. And then he plays a couple more plays. He doesn't play very much after that. I don't know what's going on in practice, but he should be playing. I legitimately think he should be playing. We got him down here as linebacker. I think he could be a defensive end and linebacker. But if he's an outside linebacker, play the guy, please. He could be awesome. Derek Shelby, he's a backup to Olivier Vernon. You got to have good backups on the defensive line. He's coming into his 4th year. I got no problem with him. I like Terrence Fede. Let's let him keep backing up whoever. John Denny, he's been our old Brigham Young boy, 11 years experience. Brigham Young's where my dad graduated. I'm a big Jimmer fan, so I gotta give props to Denny. He's been our long snapper for over a decade. Gotta love him. He even makes plays on special teams. Emmanuel Deke, I'm seeing here, is coming up his rookie year out of Georgia Tech. I don't know a lot about him, but I'm all for giving young players a chance to prove themselves. Olivier Vernon, he's the starting defensive end opposite Cameron Wake. He's only in his 4th year. I like his little celebration dance. He does make plays. It's hard to have 2 dominant defensive ends at the same time on your team. It's like a Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan thing, or Umanura Strahan. It's really hard to have, it's a difficult thing. So with Cameron Wake and Olivier Vernon as our defensive ends, it's hard to be upset with that, especially if you've got our Chris McCain and Dion Jordan actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. And Cameron Wake, I love him. 7th year. I think that he can be double teamed into submission, which isn't his fault. So while he's being double teamed, somebody else should be stepping up. And we have good stats this last year against stats against the pass. I think we're top. I think we're 6th in the league. So definitely top 10 of giving up passing yards, and that is a definite correlation there with the defensive ends and your defensive tackles. So I mean, let's run down the defensive. I like what Wake and Vernon are doing. I like Shelby. I like Fede. I love Chris McCain. And then we got Randy Starks and Jared Odrick. Pretty good defensive tackles, along with Earl Mitchell, AJ Francis, and then some other ones: DeAndre Coleman, Anthony Johnson, Kamal Johnson. I like Randy Starks and Earl Mitchell and Jared Odrick. They're pretty darn good. I got no problem with them. Although Adamakin Sue sounds a hell of a lot better to me. I watched every play last year. Okay, I didn't see a whole lot of the defensive tackles rushing up the middle and causing a lot of ruckus. But I'll give our defensive line right now a B minus, and and that's fine. But I would rather give them an A minus. Linebackers. Okay, let's start with Daniel Ellerby, and let's end Daniel Ellerby right now, please. The guy is due $8.45 million last year. He didn't play past week 1. He didn't play well the year before anyway. I have no idea why we even brought him here. He was not a success. And then you got the Philip Wheeler as well. We brought him in there. We brought him here the same year that we brought in. It's the same year that we brought in the other guy, the Ellerby, and I think they both underachieved. We're paying them both too much, and we have good young linebackers, especially Jelani Jenkins. I like Jonathan Freeney, of course Chris McCain, and let's see, Kelvin Shepard, Jordan Tripp, Jason Trusnick. Those are a good young batch of linebackers. Get rid of the old guys that we're paying way too much money, please, and I'll save this for another show, but I think drafting a linebacker is a good idea. Maybe drafting a couple. Koemisi in the middle. No, I'm sorry. He's all right, but he's not great. And we got our butts kicked running the ball against us. CJ Calvin. What's Kevin Calvin? Not Calvin. See the Jets running back. He ran for 120 yards against us in the first half. One game. We gave up yard after yards after yards after yards on the ground, especially at the end of the year. We need better linebackers. I'm fine with just getting rid of all the old guys and just going young. I like all of our young linebackers and none of our old ones. And I'd be darned if anybody disagreed with me on that. So, moving on to defensive backs. Walt Aikens, coming off his rookie year. We got no problem with letting him see what he can do. Will Davis coming into his 3rd year. He's a backup. He's shown signs of promise. He's been hurt a lot. He's just one of those guys that we just insist on drafting but not playing very much. But I want to see what he can really do. Louis Delmas is a free agent, strong safety. He made a couple plays. Yeah, he had a pick 6 against Jacksonville. Who didn't? As far as our safeties go, I don't have a whole lot of problem with keeping who we have. That's fine. We got Rashad Jones and, of course, Louis Delmas. They did pretty good. They did okay. They're not great. Rashad Jones was suspended the first 4 games. He came back on. He did pretty good. Then we got Don Jones. We got Jordan Kovacs. They're all young guys. Let's let them prove themselves, unless, of course, somebody comes along and is just noticeably better. TJ Heath, he's backing up Cortland Finnegan. Yeah, don't know too much about him. He seems young. That's fine. Let him see what he can do. I'm gonna save the cornerbacks for last. Jimmy Wilson, he's a free agent, and I don't like him. He gives up so many plays, it's ridiculous. I can't believe anybody would ever have anything good to say about Jimmy Wilson. I think he had like maybe 1 or 2 interceptions last year, but he gives up so many plays. I mean, every time I watch this game, it's first down on Jimmy Wilson. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why we keep him. I don't know. He just gives his receiver a cushion every time, and they catch up. That's what's going on there. Jamar Taylor is a backup, 3rd year out of Boise State. He's kind of like like the Will Davis. He's in that same class. We drafted 2 DBs that year, 2 backup quarterbacks, and they look like they could be something, but we haven't really played them very much. And they have also been injury prone. But you got to have backup cornerbacks. Jamar Taylor and Will Davis seem okay, unless somebody else, of course, again comes up and says, "Yeah, I'm better than you. I deserve playing time." R.J. Stanford might be one of them. He's in his 5th year. He's been backing up Grimes this year, and I mean, I really don't have anything good or bad to say about him. I didn't really see him make too many plays last year. I watched every play. And again, Jordan Kovacs and Lowell Rose. young guys, again, let them see if they're good. If somebody's better, let them go. Michael Thomas, we all know, is excellent play 2 years ago against the Patriots, intercepting Tom Brady in the end zone to seal the game. That was fantastic. I loved every second of that. I think he should. We should play him more. You know, why not? He proved himself. Players who make big plays should play more. That's it. I haven't seen. That was one of the biggest plays the Dolphins has made in the past 2 years. Let him keep playing. Give him a chance as a backup cornerback, nickel, safety. He's a valuable guy to have, and I want him on our team. Hold on a second. Okay. Quarterbacks, Brent Grimes. Pretty much, if you're not that stud from the New York Giants, Odell Beckham, Brent Grimes made the best catch of the entire season last year. That one-handed pick with guarding Calvin Johnson was unbelievable. And besides Odell Beckham's two-finger catch in the end zone, Brent Grimes' catch was the best one in the league last year, bar none. And he did give up a few touchdowns. He's entering his 9th year, but it's hard to beat Brent Grimes. We got a Pro Bowl cornerback. Let's play him. Let's keep him. Pay him what he wants. I think we are paying him, $3.26 million. That's a bargain. That's a bargain. Cortland Finnegan. Oh, excuse me, Brent Grimes. We're paying him $8.5 million, which is still worth it. Cortland Finnegan, we're paying him $5.5 roughly $million, and I think that's ridiculous. I don't see any need to keep Cortland Finnegan on our team. He gave up so many first downs. If he makes that tackle inbounds against the Packers, we win that game. How many years has he been playing cornerback? 10 years. He's coming into his 10th year. And the other team has no timeouts, and he runs up to him and dances with him instead of tackling him inbounds. Would have sealed the game against the Packers. The guy runs out of bounds after the fake snap, and we end up losing the game. I can't tell you how many times Cortland Finnegan gave up huge plays over and over and over again. That was just ridiculous. I didn't like the signing of him in the first place. I was waiting for him to prove it that he was worth it, and he did not. So, yeah, let's cut him or decrease his pay. He does not deserve $5.5 million. That's fact. I think that pretty much wraps up the defense. Let's see what we got here. Rashad Jones, our starting safety, is earning $6.76 million next year. If we don't have to pay him that, let's not. I mean, he's pretty good, but he only played 12 games last year, and it's not like he was dynamic. Right? It seems like all of the Super Bowl winning teams nowadays have so many young players that you're hardly paying anything that are making plays that these $5, $6, $7, $8 million a year veterans are not making. So just get rid of them. Let the young guys step up and make plays that are trying to prove themselves, as opposed to these guys that are already making big bucks and they're not trying as hard. That's what I'm thinking. I don't hate Rashad Jones, but what he had, like 2 big plays last year. I do like Brent Grimes. We got to keep him. I love Cameron Wake. I'm the biggest Chris McCain fan in the world probably right now. I think he should be starting. Our leader in tackles last year was Jelani Jenkins. Of course, let's keep him. Who was backing up Toomisi last year? I think it was Jordan Tripp. Yeah, we got to get better at middle linebacker. I think. So we got ran on nonstop. So something's got to happen there. That could be, we got to improve linebackers. We got to improve safeties. Get better at defensive tackle. But the 3, Brent Grimes, Cameron Wake, Chris McCain, Jelani Jenkins. I'm fine with Olivier Vernon. I'll give Dayon Jordan 1 more year to see what he's capable of. I like Terrence Fede. We got some good young guys on there, Jordan Tripp. But besides that, we got to get better. Got to get better on defense. And let's quickly with special teams. Caleb Sturgis. I would have been fine with keeping Dan Carpenter, to be honest with you, but no sense crying over spilled milk. He just needs to make his kicks under 50 yards every time, or he's not doing anything darn good. He needs to get better. Brandon Fields, he's pretty darn good. Most of the time, he punts the ball pretty darn well. I don't have a whole lot of problems with him. He had a couple of crappy punts last year, but I guess nobody's perfect. All right, so that was the defense and special teams. And let's go down the line here of the rookie grades with James Walker from ESPN.com. I give James Walker about a C+ as far as all of his Dolphins coverage. Seems like he says the same thing over and over and over again. I like his stock up and stock down articles. I like when he does good after coverage of the games. He talks about the plays that meant something, but it seems like he says the same thing over and over and over again about Tannehill and the deep ball. The Dolphins need to win this year to make or break season. A little more variety, James. Come on, just how much you getting paid there? I'm sure you can do better. Just write about more things, write about more players. I don't have a whole lot of problems with you, but it seems like you say the same thing over and over. But he gave Juwan James an A-. I couldn't agree more. He did a great job. I gave him an A-. Landry, he gave an A. These are the rookie grades. Jarvis Landry, I think, deserved just a flat B because he didn't have a lot of touchdowns. He had like 5 or 6, maybe 7. A couple of bad fumbles. That sounds like a B to me. Turner, offensive lineman, a D. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, he had a chance to start, but I think Turner was the guy who had the horrible game against Geno Atkins in the defensive tackle for the Bucs, and at one point he got benched, as in who wouldn't have a bad game against him. Walt Aikens got a C+. I don't see why he deserves. Yeah, I guess that's fine. C+. Jordan Tripp, a D+. I don't think he did that bad to deserve a D. Terrence Fede, B+. That's good. Chris McCain, B. If you would have played him, he would have got an A. Damian Williams, B. He showed some good signs. So that fine. Those are pretty good grades. I'll give it to him on that one. But let's go. Let's go on a little break for now, and I'll get back to you guys soon, and we'll talk about our free agents, our restricted free agents, our unrestricted free agents, and also we'll talk about the combine, which is going on right now, and then who we should be looking for in the draft. I'll look into that, and I'll get some new notes for you guys, and we'll go from there. This has been the Andrew Mullins Miami Dolphins Talk Show, day number 2. Thank you. And I will see you soon. Thank you very much.